of veterinary
Yeah.
medicine. What did you find as a difference from your theoretical experience to your practical experience?
Sometimes when we went to villages, so many people came for treatment. Some days we gave about 300 anti-rabies vaccines, and we did about 10 to 12 surgeries, sterilizations. So it was challenging at the beginning because all the people were coming for treatment and I was not that experienced. And so that demand caused me to serve for the demand. So I learned fast because of that great demand.
So the pressure forced you to improve your skills.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So then the tsunami project was finished,
Yes.
and then the Blue Paw Trust project came up.
Yeah, this is a 5-year Colombo project.
Can you talk about now that project moved into the Blue Paw Trust? So all the doctors, everyone.
Yeah. Even that was a Blue Paw Trust project, but it was a different project, and this was another project.
Right. Can you talk about the Colombo project? When
Yeah.
you were given the briefing about the Colombo project, what were your thoughts? Were there structures now put in place, or was it the same structures?
No, actually, we started to plan everything. So we had discussions, Dr. Nalanika, Shavanti, and the team. So about at the beginning in January, we had once a month meetings like. But when this project was getting closer, we started this Colombo project in June 2007. So by end of April, we were planning the Colombo project mainly.
How long have you now? The Colombo project has been running for 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's right, nearly.
In the 2.5 years, what do you see that you all have accomplished?
Oh, we have accomplished a lot of things. At the beginning, when we started the project, we started in Mattakulia, that is north of Colombo. That is the most poor area in Colombo, and that area has the highest number of stray dogs. And since those people are poor, not that they are poor only, but they don't care for dogs at all. So when we went to treat for dogs, they were asking us why we were treating the dogs, not the humans, and they were asking for money. For even to bring their own dog to the clinic, they were asking us money. So they thought if that was the NGO reputation in Sri Lanka, I think mainly because they thought, oh, treating dogs, these people are earning a lot. So if they are earning, if we bring our dog to the clinic, we are helping them. In return, they should pay us. That was the mentality like. But we had to talk to them in length, and we had to explain them what we were doing and how it will how the impact will help them to improve their environment like. So at the beginning, in a day we were able to find about 5 to 6 surgeries. That was after very much persuasion. So every day at that time I was the coordinator, so I was responsible for the number of surgeries also. So I used to walk around the area and from house to house asking people if they are having any dogs, and if they have to bring the dogs to the clinic and why it is important like that. So it was extremely difficult at the beginning, but now after 2 years they know the importance of this project, and they sometimes call me and ask me where the clinic will be next week. We have a dog, I want to bring the dog to the clinic. So I think we have changed their attitudes also.
Altogether, how many dogs do you think you all have immunized and sterilized over the last 2.5 years?
Close to 2,500, I think.
And that is immunization or sterilization?
Sterilizations.
And immunization, do you have rough figures?
Sorry, I can't remember them.
Okay. Now the Blue Board Trust is going to wind down for the 2.5 years.
Yes, this project, not the
This
blue.
project.
Yes.
And this project is going to be handed over to the
Colombo
municipal
Municipal.
board. What do you think the main stumbling blocks are for this to take place?
They are not ready. Actually, this project has 3 partners, that is Blue Port Trust, WSPA and the CMC. So at the beginning, the CMC's involvement is very little. If they are to take over the project in 2012, I think they need to participate more, and they should have their own doctors trained to do the work we are doing today. So at the moment, there are no plans and no doctor is working with us. I think if they can send 1 or 2 doctors to work with us, they can train with us, and gradually they can take over once we wind up.
Do you think that there is a serious lack of manpower in the municipal council to take over this project?
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
Yes.
Another issue that was brought up by another member who worked in the municipal council was the lack of the salaries not being sufficient, and therefore people in the municipal council need to charge as a supplement charge for vaccination is supplementary income for sustenance. How do you think that problem can be addressed?
That happens mainly on in the minor staff and the supervisory grades, not the doctors level. Actually, vaccinators and the support staff, I know they charge people, though the vaccine is given free of charge. To administer the vaccine, I know they charge some amount. So that is a big problem in our country, not only limited to the CMC. So giving, I think their wages are also poor, but that is one aspect we can work on, but we should try to change their attitudes also, because even if we give a big salary, sometimes they may be doing the same thing because they think it is their energy they are spending, but they sometimes don't understand that they are paid a salary to do the job. And sometimes our own community is like that. They think, oh, they are coming in the sun, they are carrying the vaccine box, so we should give them something. So both parties are at fault. So I think attitude change is also necessary.
I was interviewing a dog catcher a little while ago who was working for the municipal council, and he was saying that the stark difference between the municipal council and Blue Port Trust is that people here don't have division. The doctors, the drivers, the dog catchers, they work as a family, and everyone is respected. And that was one of the key factors of him enjoying working here. Do you think that is also an issue working at a government institution?
At the moment, I think it will not suit the government, because the minor staff are not used to this kind of environment, because in our organization we have a very flat structure. So I think if we administer this to the CMC at once, it will not work, because minor staff will not cooperate and the doctors will also not accept it. So I think there should be a structure, because the government sector is not small as our organization. Blue Port Trust has few employees here, but when we compare it to the CMC veterinary department, it's a huge department. There should be a structure there, but there is lot of hierarchy there. So we can flatten the structure a bit, but I don't think a flat structure as the one we have in Blue Port Trust will work. I don't think so.
And Blue Port Trust is an extremely flat structure in your